All right, y'all. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I also did about 30 minutes of prep to try and make one of these tier lists, and someone else made it for me. So shout out to whoever made this one. Actually, it doesn't even say on here. It's kind of messed up. Let's jump through this. Okay, so basically, we're going to go over pre-release stuff. What cards to improve your pre-release game, what cards you should definitely not play. Again, I'm no expert. This is just my first thoughts. I've looked through the cards before, but I'm kind of just trying to put it all down into a tier list, make it easier for me to also bring my tier list into the shop, basically. Have a little cheat sheet almost and know kind of, hey, this is what I'm looking for, and if I don't have this, I'm going to go to this, and if I don't have this, I'm going to go to this, right? Yeah, so I think for pre-release, let's start off. We'll start it from the beginning. Obviously, there's no leaders, so we are going to just go through the cards. I also think that there are a lot of black LBAF cards and a lot of yellow cards that we are just going to skip entirely. I think some of these are just, they're very situational. They're not really that valuable, and there's just better things to play instead of them. And then we have our W Scalps tab, which was not here before. We can just go ahead and put all of these in there. You're not playing with any of these cards. And if you do, more power to you. Let's just start off by doing this. W Scalps, okay? Just keep these. These are sick cards. If you're going to play with them, that's fine. That's badass. I appreciate that. I think that's really cool. Personally, I'm not really playing with these cards. Maybe the Rayleigh, like maybe the Zoro, you know, like if you really wanted to just get a good Zoro in. I guess the Roger, maybe if you wanted a big body, but even then, like, I think I think that the Zoro and the Odin go there. Because I think those cards are just broken by themselves. You're not playing that one, you're selling that for generational wealth. Okay, we're good. And I don't see the Rocks manga in here. Alright, let's jump into it. So, let's go over from the beginning. We got Atmos. Opponent's turn, this character gains 3,000, so it's a 4 cost, 6,000 power, 9,000 on your opponent's turn. This is goated. We got to include this. It's not a counter, but for a 4-drop, this is what you need to do on pre-release. You need to be able to hit your curve 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, or 1, 3, 5, 7, 9, 10. This is a great 4-drop, and then it's really sticky. It takes 9k plus to kind of get him off the field. He's most likely never leaving the field. Let's go over to Izo. I almost said Jozu. Izo, again, S tier. You got to include this. Give one of your opponent's characters minus 6,000, and it has rush character, and it's a 4 cost 6,000. Again, this is like a board clear basically, not a full board clear. This is like clearing a character that's rested. Your opponent rested a character, boom, you swing into it with this. And then if you don't get it with this, you probably have other characters to get it with. Yeah, so these are the easy ones. This is abysmal, and I would only include it if you. I'm going to put barely playable here because it's not a vanilla 2K. Barely playable as in this is just a 2K. This, again, where are we? Oh no. So, this card is interesting because how do I get this to go away? So, this card is interesting. Your leader is not monocolored, so you don't get this on-play effect, which is weird because usually you get all the on-play effects with Rainbow Luffy. This is one of the rare times you don't, but it is still worth playing a 6/12. So I think this one has a good utility. It's not a must include. It's got a good utility. If you had another big body, I mean, yeah, I think good utilities. We're going to leave that there for now. This is just a vanilla 2K. So we're going to put that there. Odin. No. This is a brick. We don't want to do this. I wonder if I should just add a... no. Nope. We're going to add a nope tier. Okay? Purple. Nope. We don't want to play that. Next, Jozu, goated. Don't even have to explain it. Super goated. Again, on play. This does what you want the new gate to do, basically. But it's just not monocolor locked, basically. And it's a 6/8. I mean, that's a good 6/8 stat line. Good to go. On your opponent's turn, gain 3,000. 4. So it's 4,000, 1,000 count. Maybe. This is maybe. Put that in niche for now. Opponent's turn, 8,000. Yeah, I mean, I think this is what this is going to come down to is maybe we need to change these a little bit. So S tier must include vanilla 2K, obviously, auto include. Maybe. And then we'll put this here, we'll delete this one. There. So this is going to maybe. Let's add one below this. Let's make it this. Let's make it this color. Make it blue. And we're going to say, what's it going to be called? Probably. No, it's alright. I'll just delete this one. Let's not overthink it. Alright, let's get into this. No, we're moving past that. This. Fossa, if your opponent has a character with 10,000 power or more and you have no other Fossa, this character gains blocker and plus 2k until the end of your turn. This one is worth keeping, but it is a brick. So we're going to put it in maybe for now. 2 Dawn attach, 1k, 5/6. When attacking, give your opponent character minus 4,000 during his turn. I think there's better stat lines out there, but it does have counter, so this might be a maybe. Maybe barely playable. That'll be good. Blenheim, blocker, 2 cost, 1k blocker, 1k counter. Yeah, it's a blocker. Yeah, we'll just put that in there for now. Ace, this character's broken. On play, give one of your characters up to minus 6,000. Boom, 1k counter, and it hits the 6 Dawn. Yeah, this is include for sure. I wouldn't put it in S tier, but it's include for sure. 1/1 Whitney Bay, 1k counter. KO up to your opponent's attack. You may trash this card. Give us during this battle. This is a maybe. Let's put that in maybe for sure. Marco, I think this is nope. Nope to barely playable, but I actually think it's nope because like at least with this, the dog and the cat, it's a 2k. Like even with this guy, like you could probably get his effect off more. The odds that you will have a Whitebeard Pirate in your hand to trash for this when you need it is probably low. Maybe we'll put barely playable. We'll just do barely playable. 2k, yeah, we keep it. Boom. The event, up to one of your Whitebeard parents' characters. So it protects your leader for 2k and then gives your opponent's leader 2 power. Yeah, this is good. So this is a good general event here. And I think this is also good because if you can protect your leader and you can stop the next attack with the minus 2k if they're only going to swing for a low amount. So we're going to put this in must include. Yeah, that's a must include. Okay, let's see. Rest 2 Dawn, KO up to one of your opponent's stages. That doesn't matter. If you have 2 or more characters with 8,000 base power or more, up to one of your leaders or characters gains 4,000. So it's a 1 cost 4k, but you need the condition. This is ass. We're going to not play that. Next up. Look at the top 5 cards. Nope. That's a searcher. We're not playing that. Shanks, we can't play that. Alright. Moving on. This character type includes... it's a 2k. It's a 2k. I don't think... It's not a vanilla 2k, but it's a 2k for sure. So we put that in the 2k stack. This is a S tier. Must include if you pull this. If you pull this, it's S tier. You got to pull this. Or you got to put this in if you pull this. Nami, it's a 2K. Some removal protection, but there's not even a lot of removal in this set. There's a couple, there's like King Kong or whatever, and I think there's a Kaido thing, but we'll get to it. Banish, we like 8/8 stat line's kind of rough. It's kind of expensive when we could very easily get like a 6/8 out, you know. So, but the on play, rest up to one of your opponent's characters. No cost, no whatever, just any character. It's like Beppo. It's sick actually. So for this reason, it goes in must play. Building Snake, KO up to one of your opponent's rested characters that cost 6 or less. Give up to one rested to your Shanks leader. So this is actually good because it's a 4/5 stat line with counter. You on KO, so it's sticky, very sticky, and then because your leader is going to be named Shanks because of Rainbow Luffy, you're going to get arrested on every turn. I think this is worth playing for sure. I would say this is an auto include, but not a must play. I don't think it's a must. I think the difference between these guys on must play is just they're fundamentally broken, and they're going to be broken and structured as well as this format, and so it's just a broken card. Red Zoro, again, like, you know, plus 2,000 to your leader, character rush to 7 cost, 7/9. Odin will stun anything. It could even prevent something from blocking. So the fact that we get these cards again in this set is pretty cool. When attacking the leader, the Red Hair Pirates type, rest one of your characters. No, this is just a 2K. This is just a 2K. So we're going to put that there. The next one, Broken, Ben Beckman. Don't even need to say anything. Just Broken. Draw one card so it's hand neutral. Then it rests up to 2 of your opponent's characters. Again, does not matter what their cost is. Just rest them. It's broken. Broken. Bonk, Punch, and Monster. I think this is a must include. This is a must include for sure. It's a blocker, has the good on play. You can KO and kind of combo with some of the rest stuff. It's a counter, but it's a 4/3, so it's kind of an expensive blocker actually. So maybe this isn't. No, I still think this is a must include. Hongo 2K plus blocker 4/4 plus on play set up to one of your dons is active, so it's actually a 3/4. Then rest 2 of your opponent's characters. Yeah, so it's a 3/4 blocker. Must include. Will be good. This Luffy, no. No, we don't want to do that. It's a 1K 4/5. I just think there's better. Better cards there. Again, broken. Yasop doesn't even matter. It just goes in there. Draw one card, so it's hand replaceable. It's hand neutral. 5/6 stat line, 1K counter, and rest up to one of your opponent's characters. That's 8 or less. So broken. These green cards are awesome. 2K Searcher. Yeah, I mean, I guess if we have to play it as a, I would argue that you're only playing that as a 2K. On your opponent's attack, you may trash this character, rest up to one of your opponent's leaders. This might be worth it, but I think this is a maybe. We're gonna put Lucky in the maybe. 1K counter, 4/5 stat line. You're not gonna hit this search. It doesn't really matter, but it's basically like a blocker. You can just rest this to stop something from attacking. It's like a blocker. This, dog shit. Barely playable. If not, no, this is nope. Vanilla 2K. We put Zoro there. Shout out to Zoro. Okay, event. You may rest 6 of your Dawn on top of the 1, so that's 7. Rest up to one of your opponent's characters, no limit to that. Then KO up to 2 of your opponent's characters. So this is removal for sure. But it's a 7 cost Gravity Blade basically, except it just KOs instead of bottom decking. And it also doubles as a 4,000 power 1K. So yeah, this is actually a must include as well. Search, nope, no thank you. Rest up to one of your cards. So you have to pay 1 Dawn and rest up to one of your cards. I think this is a maybe. This is a barely playable. You don't want to pay 2 for 3,000 when you can easily pay 1 for 4,000 with this event. It just doesn't really make a lot of sense unless you really have to. It is cool that you can rest one of your cards, not just a Dawn, so you could rest like a character or whatever, but I don't really think that's a value right now. You may rest 4 of your cards, rest up to one of your opponent's characters. No. This is a 0. This is filtering your bricks. Okay, this is good. It's a 0 cost. We're filtering our bricks because it costs. You may trash one card in your hand, and then up to one of your opponent's, your leaders or characters. So you can protect a leader or a character with this by just trashing a brick. And it has a pretty good main rest 4 of your cards. So it could be Dawn cards, could be other stuff. But again, like, you're probably going to be resting Dawn for this. Rest up to one of your opponent's characters, no limit. Yeah, this is a must include. Got to put that in there. Nope. All right, let's see. On play, draw 1. When your leader includes type rocks and is attacked, you may trash. Yep, Newgate, we're putting in there. Because your leader's going to have rocks pirates, and you're going to be able to do this. Trash 1 card from your hand. You know, but filter out some of the bricks. It does feel like some of the bricks in this set are going to be a little bit more valuable because you're going to need bricks to discard, but then also they'll have cool effects like this. Like if you had another Newgate in your hand and you use this effect, it's just a good way to kind of not overdo it with Newgate, but also use those bricks effectively. Let's go Wang Z. Blocker, 4/6 blocker, no counter. You may trash 1 card from your hand, place all your opponent's characters with a base. Nope, that doesn't matter. So it's a blocker, it's a 4/6 blocker. I would argue barely playable. Let's go here, Kaido, reveal 3 cards. That's terrible. It's a 4/6 blocker, again, barely playable. Ganzu, if your character moves from the field, you may trash 2 cards from your hand instead. On play, your leader becomes 6 power to the end of your opponent's face. Maybe this is worth it. Maybe this is a hard maybe though, because it is a brick. It's not really bad that if we run bricks though, because like I said, if you are gonna discard for like a Newgate effect, this is a good one to discard. You know, your bricks are gonna be useful. Captain John, no discussion. It is a must include. This card's broken. Next up, no even further conversation needed. This is removal protection. So like if your opponent runs like the 7 Shanks event where it's KOing 2 of your opponents or 2 of your cards, this might be helpful. So this is a maybe. We're gonna put Kyo in maybe there. Gloriosa broken, don't even need to describe it. It's got a built-in barbed pistol, it's a blocker. The only sad part about this is it's an SR, so you're probably not going to pull that many of these, but a 4/1 blocker with barbed pistol built into it is broken. Okay, Shiki, this card should never have been in the set. This is terrible. I don't know why the fuck they have this in the set, excuse my language. We're moving on. This Shiki's good, but you have to trash a card that includes rock pirates from your hand. So it's still, at the end of the day, let's say you don't get this effect, it is still a 7/9 rush character, so I still would play it. I just don't know where to put it. Maybe it's an auto include, but also maybe it's just a maybe and it's at the top of the maybe list. I think it is a maybe because we have Whitebeard in here as a maybe as well. Yeah, it's a brick. They're both bricks. They both have good kind of effects. Character rush. Whitebeard has you can drop it for 4 or drop it for 6, whatever it is. But I just don't think that you want to make these your first big bodies you play. I'd much rather include Shanks, Beckman, Howling Gab. You know, like there's a lot of other bigger bodies coming up, Jozu, that you would want to play instead of these big bodies. Because they're situational, and by the time your opponent already has a 10 cost out, this Newgate might not even be worth it. So yeah, let's move on. Linlin, yeah, this is an include for sure, because it says you may trash 1 card from your hand. It does not specify rocks pirates. We got to include Linlin. Next up, Streusel, this is Strusen, this is nope. Don't care about that. This is a vanilla 2K, so we're going to put Jinbei in vanilla 2K land. On play, no counter, 3/5. Add up to from your hand. I mean, 3/5 is a good stat line, but I just don't see it. This is like a barely playable. Let's move it there. Barbell, broken. No further conversation needed. It's sticky. So on KO, your opponent places 2 cards from their hand at the bottom of the deck in any order. Very sticky. And then also, you trash 1 card from your hand. This character gains 3,000 power during this turn. So not only that, but let's say you swing with him. He's sideways at 7. Your opponent needs to swing over at least 12 to clear him. Otherwise, you're having another body on the board. And then if they do swing over 12, they're placing 2 cards on the bottom of their own deck. So this is very much a really good card in pre-release, but it's also a really good card in structured, and it's a common. So we're probably going to be seeing a lot of those. Stussy, yes. Just yes. Yeah, just yes. No further questions needed. No further comments. Stussy's broken. We like that. Zero cost event. You may rest 1 Dawn up to 1 of your Roxabeck. Game's unblockable this turn. Now, I don't know if you could use this, like your leader technically is Roxabeck, and then make your leader unblockable. So for that reason, I'm going to put this in auto include. Well, it's a 0 cost 2K. Yeah, we're going to include this. This is a must include because it's just a 0 cost 2K for your leader if you want to block a small swing without any Dawn up. And then if for some reason I'm wrong and your leader does count as Roxabeck and gains unblockable, then GG's. You know, it's even better. You just play this for 1, basically, put the 9 on your leader, and you're getting an unblockable swing for like 14. No questions asked. There we go. You may rest 5 of your Dawn cards. It's a 0 cost. Return up to 1 of the character. Okay, so to the hand. Okay. And then it's a 0 cost counter up to 1 of your leaders or characters. Okay, 2000. Yeah, this is another auto include because at minimum it's just a 0 cost 2K. At maximum it does have some value with the main effect, and I do think that it's like Bari Pistol-esque. It's like the same range, and it's also kind of the same cost. So yeah, we'll move on. Stage, nope, this is ass. Very playable. This is not even playable. We don't want to play that. Very, very bad. Kaido coming up next. Nope. Aramaki, 7/8 blocker with a Dawn. Draw 1. No. This is barely playable. There's better blockers, and these are very expensive. KO up to 1 of your opponent's characters. So this is a ramp, but we don't need to ramp at 6 Dawn right now. So we're going to put this on nope. Lead performers, yeah. Yes, 100% auto include. Why are we auto including? You're never going to hit this activate main, and if you do, you probably win. But the ability to heal on a purple card, and it's a 9/11 big body, is just valuable. It's a brick too, so if you need to filter it out, you can. Let's move on. Kaido, 10/12 blocker. Your turn once per turn when a Dawn card is removed from your field, so he just keeps the ramp going. This is just, again, it's a big blocker. It's not S tier in this format, but it is a big blocker / body. This is kind of the Kaido you want to. This is the S tier Kaido. So all character cards in your hand without a counter have 1+K counter or +1K counter, and then activate main -1 Dawn if this character was played this turn. So it's kind of like a Whitebeard or a Blackbeard style effect where it's not on play effect, but it's an activate once per turn. Negate the effect of 1 of your opponent's characters to 6 or less during the turn and KO it. So powerful. You probably could use this against Captain John. So negate Captain John and then KO it, basically, to kind of go for lethal if you really wanted to. There's probably other better ways to do that, but I just see that being very valuable. It's kind of like the 8 cost teach trigger. Let's move on. King, yes, big body. Sick, we love it. It's a blocker. Nothing else to say. Queen, yes, we love it. Stops 2 attacks, Dawn -1, and draws a card. So it's hand neutral, has banish, and it's kind of like, it's got like a Perona freeze built into it. This is a 1K. Nope, we don't need a ramp. 1K. Nope. No, we don't need to do that. We already have other green cards that will rest stuff without minusing Dawn, and we don't need to hit that condition. This is just a 2K. I guess it's just a 2K plus it's a 3/4 ramp, but like you're not going to ramp and you're not going to be able to trash 2 cards. Like that's going to be ridiculous. So let's put it in the 2K only for the 2K stat line. The 3/4 is okay, whatever, and the effect is whack. So we're just going to do that for a 2K for now. Jack. Rush character, we like that. On play -1 Dawn, give your leader. Give up to 1 of your opponent's characters -2000 during this turn. Yep, okay. Auto include, boom, S tier. No questions asked. Auto, vanilla 2K. All right, next. Who's who? Okay, nope. This is a nope. For sure. Black Maria, 1K counter, 2/1 blocker. You may trash one card, your leader. Yeah, that's good. I don't know if it's S tier. We'll put it in auto include because it definitely is valuable, but I mean maybe. Yeah, we'll move it there. 2/1 blocker, 1K, and then on your opponent's attack once per turn, you may trash one card from your hand up to one of your leaders or characters gains. So you could use this effect first to block like a 5K swing and then use the blocker. So you're using this card twice. Yeah, this card is valuable. I see the vision there. You may trash one card from your hand if your leader's animal card pairings, add up to 1. We don't need a ramp, but it is a 2K. It's just an expensive 3/1, so it's not really a vanilla 2K, but whatever. This is a blocker that does ramp and is 1K counter, kind of the same deal. This card is going to be broken and structured, but right now I do not see it being super. I mean, you should include it if you have it, but again, like the way this is going to work is you work down this tier list. So S tier means all of the copies of these cards you're going to try to include. Then you move on to fill it with 2Ks and other like auto includes right here. And then if you really don't have enough cards in these first two top tiers, you maybe move to this maybe category. And I would just start with like going left to right, basically. So Newgate, Shiki, Lucky, etc. Right? Yeah, we'll do that. But yeah, for now, no. X-Drake. No, this is just a 2K. This is just a 2K. 0 cost, you may trash one card from your hand up to one of your leader characters. Yep, okay, I could do this. This is not a S tier, but it is a brick filter 3K. I think this next one is the one I was thinking of. Yeah. So counter, you may rest 2 cards, trash cards. So this is the ramp card basically. So you can ramp 3 Dawn rested by playing it with 4 Dawn and 2 cards. You're never going to use this main effect. I don't think you're ever going to use this main effect in pre-release. It is just a 1 Dawn -1. Your leader gains 4,000. So this is actually a maybe. I would argue this is a maybe. We'll put it in auto include because if you really need the counter and you're past 10 Dawn and you have a board established, no, but it's only leader. So we're going to put this in maybe, we'll put it there. Because if it was leader and character, I'd say it makes sense. 4K and leader character, it's 1 -1, but yeah. Here we go. 2 protects characters, and then it does have the ramp effect, but I think this also goes in. I think this also goes in maybe 2. Like if you really don't have counter, sure, but 2 is expensive for a 4K when you could easily get 4K from just one of these Shanks events. So maybe. Moving on to Elbath Luffy. A lot of these cards are going to be nope. I'm not really going to waste a lot of time on this. We're going to speed run this because a lot of these cards are nope. If there's a character, like half of the effect you don't get, and then a lot of them are connected to Elbath. So like when we get to Nami's draw 2 is dependent on if you discard an Elbath card. Anything like that we want to stay away from because it's just too hard to set up during pre-release. You're trying to move fast, hit your curve. You're not trying to hit a combo for a 1-drop or hit a combo for a 2-drop Usopp so that you get a 5K swing. So this is a nope. Gerd is a maybe, but like to be honest, I don't know if I would play it either. It's a 2K technically. But yeah, I don't know if I would play Gerd. I mean, I guess the on-play effect could be valuable if you're trying to get something out of your trash, but I don't even know how it got there in the trash in the first place unless you were not filtering correctly and discarding different cards for your other cards. So we're going to move that there for now. Sanji 1K, nope. Jinbei, I think this is a 2K. Nope, it's not. Nope. Chopper. 2K Chopper. See, but look at this. If this character with a cost of 12 or more on your field, then one of your characters gets unblockable this turn. That's the caveat to these on plays, and they're ass. So this is literally just a 2K counter. And it's probably one of the worst ones. be honest, Dory, the stat line is just not good. I would just say nope. Sorry, bud. Nami, nope. Robin, nope. It's too much setup. This is just a vanilla 2K. We're gonna put this guy here. Saul, 4-6 stat line. I mean, this might be a maybe actually. Put this in maybe if you need a 4-6, but I don't see it being useful because there's a lot of other 4-6s that you can kind of put in there. But again, like you're working your way down this tier list. So if you need a 4-6 style character to just swing at life, and you're going through your tier list and you hit S tier and you hit vanilla 2K auto include, and you still have room in your deck, not a bad card to include. But again, you're not trying to set up the whole Elbath thing. It just doesn't work like that in pre-release. Nope. We're gonna move that. Brooke, nope. Broggy, nope. Sorry, bud. All right, we're gonna get through this real quick, guys. Thank you for your patience here. I know that a lot of these black cards and these yellow cards are gonna be in the note pile, but I think there's a couple of them, so I just want to go through one by one here. I don't think 8-8 is a good stat line, to be honest with you. I think it's really expensive. I think in pre-release we have stuff like 7-9 Ben Beckman, 8-8 Banish, Howling Gab. Yeah, there's just better stuff. 5-7 Barbell, 5-7 Linling, like 6-8 Newgate. Like this 8-8 is very expensive, and the effect is just kaput. So we're just not going to include him. Next, 2K. That's it. That's all this guy is. Vanilla 2K. That's it. Next, Zoro 2K. It has removal protection, so I guess it's an include. I guess that's there. Put Zoro there, actually. 1 cost. If there's a character 12 or more. Yeah, this is dependent on this. Why would we play this when we don't know if we can get it off, actually? This is a no. Main event, give all your characters -1 cost during this turn. Counter, your leader gains 3,000 power. This is just a 3K. Maybe? Yeah, just a maybe 3K. 1, 3, and then it has some removal. So I guess this is also a maybe, but this would be in front of the low-key event for sure. And we're moving into the yellow cards. Most of these cards are going to be no's, but a few of them actually are good. You don't want to take a life, so this is not good. Sorry, Caribou. This is not good. 1K. Trigger, play this card 4/4 stat lines ass. This is one of the ones that is worth playing because you get the heal for 6 without any extra Dawn, and you get the -3,000. So this one I would put here, and then Cracker. Give me a rest 2, so it's a 5/4. I don't know. I don't like the stat line on this one, but I guess it's the same as Katakuri. But you just don't get the minus. So this is a maybe. This is a maybe. Let's put this here. Let's do that. This is an absolute no. It doesn't matter. It does not matter. Smoothie, no, because it's a 7/4. That's bad. This is just a vanilla 2K. Put this here. Brûlé is a blocker, 1K, 3/4, and it has a trigger. We're going to include this in our auto include here. This is not as good as it is in structure. In pre-release, you just the odds that you have a card with trigger in your hand to actually play this when you want to play this on like your first or second, your second or third turn, your second turn probably actually, is just very low. And then also like most of the cards that have triggers on them, like none of the cards in the S tier up here have triggers. The only card in this vanilla auto include thing that have triggers are the yellow cards and then the Kaido. So it's just like if you're going off of these first 2 tier lists, I genuinely don't think that this is valuable, but this card is really broken and structured when you're playing it with other cards. So we're gonna just pass. We'll put this in nope. Sparrow Parrow is Parrow Sparrow, not Sparrow Parrow. Parrow Sparrow is too expensive. We don't like him. 7/4 stat lines, completely terrible in this format. We'll move on. Charlotte Matador. Mont d'Or. That's what his name is. Bad. We're not going to even dwell on it. This is a big body. Got to include Lin. Again, the first one doesn't really matter. The on-play effect is kind of what you're using it for. It's hand neutral, and you'll get a life, or your opponent will take a life. That might be helpful for going for lethal. It's like as if this character swung once, but you're doing it on play. So let's move on. Strucin, 2K, just a 2K. Just a 2K. Sweets General. This is a 6-4, or this is an 8-4, where it'll heal you and give 2 of your opponent's characters minus 3,000. I genuinely think that this is a maybe or barely playable. Just in this format, 8-4 is so expensive for what it's worth, and you can't even swing at a life. You have to add Dawn on top of it to swing at the life. Yeah, the heal is important. Yeah, the draw one is cool. But at the end of the day, it's 8-4, draw 1, heal 1, and then 2 characters of your opponents get minus 3,000. So I guess it could be like a maybe if you wanted to use it like a very expensive tech card to clear someone's board. But again, it's pre-release. You should kind of be, we're going to put it to barely playable. You're just trying to swing big at the other person's life and then clear stuff that is going to swing big at you. So barely playable because of the fact that we have the other Katakuri right here. And the Katakuri is good because it's a 6-4, but it doesn't require you to rest extra Dawn, and you get the heal. I don't think you get the card actually on the Katakuri, but then you still get 1 minus 3,000, which is still really good. Your Charlotte Linen leader gains unblockable for this turn, so that's pretty cool, and then it's a 4K. Yep, this is an include for sure, because with Rainbow Luffy, your leader is Charlotte Linlin, and it will get unblockable, so it's a good way to go for lethal. No, this is trash. If you have 2 of my characters with trigger, no, we don't like the specificity of that. That's bad. Yeah, we like this. It has a trigger. This goes here. It goes in auto include, but below S tier. Zebek. Yeah, characters. I mean, yeah. This is good. This is good. We'll put this in auto include, even though it's not on play draw 1. You're never gonna get this on play really. Like Rocks Pirates, maybe you will, but because it does say up to 2, so if you just had 1 in your hand, you could probably throw down another Newgate. Yeah. This one, I don't think it's S, but it's definitely high in this auto include category here. And then low key. Yeah, we like this. Yeah, 6-8. It technically is 6-11 on your opponent's turn, and then on play you can KO things. This is a must include for sure. So that's all for this. There we go. There. Okay. So now let's look through this real quick, make sure anything is not in the place it should be, but to be honest, I think this list is pretty solid. So you have a lot of your mid-range, your big bodies, your tech cards, etc., and then your auto 2Ks, and then some of this stuff is like auto include, like this 1-drop Linling event is just worse than this 1-drop Linling event, but if you only get a certain amount of events, counter events that you're trying to play, this 1-drop is not terrible to have. A 3K 1-drop is not terrible to have. It's just less valuable than a 1-drop that does 4K. So just keep that in mind. I think this is a good thing to kind of like screenshot right here, is this like these top 3 tiers. If you have anything that you would want to add to this and you have a reason why, I'd love to hear it in the comments. And until then, I will see you guys next time.